I woke up this morning feeling very motivated and inspired. That hasn't happened in the last couple weeks. And so I went outside, I had a cup of coffee, and I made a to-do list for today's vlog. I know we're not going to get everything done, but we're going to work on some of the top priorities that I have. So we have some orders that we need to pack and get out. I also want to test DTF transfers, printing them yourself on a inkjet printer and see if that works. So stay tuned. We're going to do a full tutorial on that. And then I also have to pour some cement artwork. So we're going to do that, demold those, and we'll see how far we get. But I'm excited, I'm motivated, so let's go ahead and get to work. Now we're going to go ahead and test our DTF transfers using a inkjet printer. The items that I'm going to be using today is this DTF transfer film paper, along with my Epson 4700 EcoTank printer. It's regular ink in there. And then I have this transfer powder. So all of that will be in the description box below, all the links to Amazon if you want to check out the products that I'm using. So fingers crossed. Let's go ahead and dive into this, and I'm going to do a little step-by-step tutorial, and then I'm going to finish it off with kind of my final thoughts. So I'm hoping this works. I'm starting off in Canva. I absolutely love Canva. I would highly recommend getting this for your business. I am customizing the size of my paper, which is going to be 8.5 by 14. You do need, I think, a subscription in order to do that. But once I get the template open, I'm going to go ahead and put in my images. Be sure to flip your images so that they are mirrored when you print your images. Also, when you hit the download button, you will need to put transparent background. And for the size, I always adjust it to 1425. That gives me a 300 DPI image. When you print your images, you want to make sure you select your paper size, and you want to change the print quality to the highest quality. Now I'm spreading the DTF powder evenly across my images, and then I'm going to cure this underneath my heat press. I'm following the instructions that are on the back of the container. Once this is done, I'm going to cut out my images, and we are going to test to see if this worked. Now, the instructions called for 180 degrees for like 20 seconds, and that did not work. So I did have to adjust my temperature. I just adjusted it to what I normally press at, which is 350 for 60 seconds. Here you can see how this turned out. Right there, you can see that some of the purple is still sticking to the transfer, but overall this actually did work. So I'm not sure what caused this. I'm assuming it might have happened during the curing process, but I think that this could possibly work. So here are my final thoughts as of today, printing DTF transfers using a inkjet printer. I still have a lot of work to do, which doesn't surprise me. Anytime you're testing something, it never happens the first time. So I'm gonna keep trying until I kind of figure things out. I did stop, watch a couple of videos, TikTok reels, those types of things. And honestly, there's a lot of steps that I felt were missing from those tutorials. So always take them with a grain of salt. But here's a few takeaways that I have for you guys. The paper that I ordered was 11.7 by 16.5. And that's because the majority of my designs are at least 11.5 to 12 inches width, and sometimes can range from 8 to 14 inches height-wise. So a regular 8.5 by 11 isn't going to work for me to print by myself. However, my printer does not have the capability of putting this paper in the back and filtering it through. So keep that in mind, check your printer. I just cut my paper to fit the max size on my machine. But keep that in mind if you can even do this for what designs you're trying to print. The next thing is this brand has a sticker on the front that says print side. So once you pull that sheet of paper out, you don't know which side is the front or back. So be mindful of that. You may want to mark which side is the front. I just used a little pencil because if you do print on the wrong side, your ink isn't going to come through. It's going to look very light. I actually tested it and it comes out extremely light, almost like a gray color. So that's something to be mindful. And also, when you're pulling your image off of the printer, the ink is still wet, so it can smear. So you need to let that dry before you touch it, otherwise you are going to ruin it. Guess what? I did that too. Other than that, I really like this process. This can really work for some of my designs and help me cut my cost almost in half, actually. I'm going to be talking about price and cost of those things in an upcoming video. I just need to work out the kinks, I think, with the temperature and curing the powder. That's one of the things that I did not see talked about in a lot of videos, which is probably the most crucial piece, so keep that in mind. But I'll have a follow-up video once I perfect this to help anyone else out that wants to try it at home. I did end up trying this on a can cooler, and as you can see, it didn't work out. So just keep in mind, I'm not quite sure that this is going to work on every different type of fabric. I finished up my day by demolding my cement pieces. I am going to be testing a new idea that I have. You can catch that in the next video, which includes me spray painting my cement designs. Then I moved on to finishing my packages and we took them to the post office. I hope you guys had fun hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next video.